Hazan, em 6 minutos.
A enquete tá no ar. Vai bater, vai cravar ou vai perder?
Vai aí no chat, em 6 minutos pode abrir um 4-0 a Colômbia.
Rames Rodrigues posicionado. Ele contra o goleiraço. O Golikov já pegou pênalti na Kings. Autorizado, Rames Rodrigues pegou o Golikov! Golikov pega o pênalti do Rames Rodrigues!
This is what James Rodriguez is up to lately. Him in the Kings League. This is what he's up to at the moment. And the way he performed in the Copa America, and even for his age, you would expect James Rodriguez to be right now in a decent club. Just to be in a decent club, play his football, be good. But it's almost like he's on the brink of retirement, which is very sad to see. And it's a guy who was supposed to be a superstar. We all looked at him as a superstar when he first made that move to Real Madrid, that World Cup he had. But after it didn't work out in Real Madrid, he just became a journeyman. And it's kind of sad that not even one club really sticks with James Rodriguez, and after a year or two, their relationship just ends, and James Rodriguez is no longer in that club. For country, there's not really a question on James Rodriguez's ability. He is always reliable for Colombia. There's no question about that. We saw it in the last Copa America, which made Rayon Vallecano make the move for James. But again, it didn't work out, and I just wonder what the issue is. Is it his attitude? Is it the fact that he doesn't train enough? What is it? Because it's very strange that every club he goes to, it just doesn't plan on working out. And the main reason why I think James Rodriguez overall just didn't become the superstar that he was intended on becoming is just how football has changed. That's my opinion. I think the way that we use attacking midfielders, for example, right now it's kind of coming back. It's reigniting. Guys like Palmer, guys like Odegaard, especially, he's better defensively, obviously. But those guys are kind of making a comeback. But when you talk about that 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, around those years era, the role of number 10s were slowly diminishing. So to me, it's not a surprise that his career went down that route, where he's not able to find a club. Because in the end of the day, James Rodriguez is a player. He doesn't fit the mold of becoming a center mid or just becoming good defensively. It's something that he tried to do when Zidane came, but he's just not that player. He's just not that type of player. He's a guy who, is in a 10 role, drops deep occasionally and tries to create, but he's not a guy whose defensive work is anything outstanding. So that's why I just think he failed. But he's one of my favorite players of all time. Let's not get this twisted, right? He's one of my favorite players of all time, especially when he first made that move to Real Madrid. That first season James Rodriguez had with Real Madrid, oh my god, this guy was insane. This guy was unbelievable. I mean, in his debut season, he had 13 goals and 13 assists in La Liga. I mean, we all talk about Carlo Ancelotti. Carlo Ancelotti is the only guy who really got anything out of James Rodriguez after his Real Madrid years. He's the only guy who could find a huge role for James Rodriguez, and he understood how James plays, and he understood the role, he understood what James brought to a team. He just understood what James can do on the pitch, and he played him incredibly, and he knew his role. Anywhere else, James just did not stick the landing. And after Carlo Ancelotti left and Rafa Benitez came in and Zinedine Zidane, those guys just did not like James. They did not trust him. They didn't know how to play with him. And also, they just thought it's better to have a safe midfield than having a guy at the 10 who probably won't track back, isn't great defensively. It's better for the team's security. So then, a season after his incredible year for Real Madrid, he didn't play. He didn't play much. His role reduced. He was mostly just a bench player, a role player. He was a guy who was playing on the B team, the infamous B team that Real Madrid had. And I'm sure Zidane loved him as a bench player because he's still an incredible player. But James clearly wanted to be a starter. It's the truth. Most of the time, James was left out the big games, like the Champions League final, for example. Do you even remember James' name in the Champions League final? No, because this guy never even came onto the pitch. So after that, he wanted to make the move to Bayern Munich on loan under Carlo Ancelotti. And under Carlo Ancelotti in that first year, again, Carlo Ancelotti knows how to get the best out of James. He has 7 goals and 11 assists in the Bundesliga. And we all remember that goal he scored against Real Madrid as well. That James in the first year of Bayern, he was so good. And I will occasionally tune into Bayern just to watch James Rodriguez. But the second year under James, after Ancelotti left, it's almost like the same story as the Real Madrid years after Carlo Ancelotti left. It's kind of the same reason. That second season, he kind of struggled with injury, and also sometimes he wasn't played enough. I don't think the second season for Bayern, he was that bad. I mean, he had a hat-trick in one of the games in the Bundesliga against Mainz. He wasn't that bad. He had 7 goals and 6 assists overall in all competitions. He wasn't horrible, but he wasn't good enough to make Bayern want to get him permanently. So again, James was on the move to try to find the perfect club for him, and again, he just couldn't find it. The club that he wanted to go to was Atletico Madrid, which Real Madrid did not allow that to happen because obviously they're rivals. So what he had to do was stay at Real Madrid, and he believed that he could fight for a position. And then when he came back to Real Madrid under Zidane again, he tried to prove himself, and he tried to get a place in that midfield or even on the right wing, and he just couldn't do it. I mean, he was, in the beginning of the season, the first 2-4 games, he was providing a lot and he was trying his best. The game that changed everything, that made me think that Zidane knew, James is not for this team, is the PSG game, where they lost 3-0. The balance was not there, and even though James was trying so hard defensively, he was actually a lot better than what he was in the past. It just wasn't good enough. And Modric was back into that team after his injury. Yeah, and it just didn't work out. I mean, Real Madrid were just not going to work out, even though that was his dream club, the club he loved. And at the end of the day, he admitted it's just not going to work out and he has to move again. And that's when he made the move to Everton. And again, why did he go to Everton? Such a random team. A team that a player like James doesn't even look like he fit on. Why did he go there? Well, we all know why he went there. Carlo Ancelotti. James Rodriguez Everton is probably the last time we saw James Rodriguez in the top level and playing his best in club football. That's probably the last time we saw, let's be honest. And that first season with Everton, they were literally top at Christmas. Around the Christmas time, they were top of the league. How crazy is that? And a lot of that is due to James Rodriguez. Because wow, I mean, I was watching, I'm a huge James fan. I wanted him to come back. I wanted him to have a great season and then actually make a better move to a bigger Premier League club, let's say. But it just did not happen. He was so good beginning of the season up until, December. But after December, he got injured. He got injured badly. He missed a few games here and there. And I feel like he could never get his rhythm back. But overall, I think he had a good season for Everton. I think he did what they needed him to do. He had 6 goals and 8 assists in all competitions. And Everton overall finished 10th. Probably disappointing when you see that they were top of the league in December. But if you look at Everton right now, I mean, they would take a 10th place finish. So I thought James did pretty good. But again, he had injury issues. And after he came back, he kind of struggled with his fitness. But in 21-22, after Carlo Ancelotti left to Real Madrid, everything changed. Everything changed for James. And guess who came in? The guy who didn't even play at Real Madrid, Rafa Benitez. And the way Rafa Benitez plays is so defensive that James Rodriguez would not fit in that system. So obviously, he had to leave. He just had to leave. He was one of their higher earners. And if Rafa Benitez was not going to use him, what is the point of him being there? So he had to leave. And if Carlo Ancelotti stayed, I'm pretty sure James would have stayed for that second season. But Real Madrid came in, and when Real Madrid comes in, you just can't reject. So Carlo Ancelotti left, and James Rodriguez was without a manager to trust. And I thought James Rodriguez still had a lot in the tank, but the move he made next just made me believe that it's over for him. It's just over. The move that he made to Al Rayon in Qatar, a move that scratches my head to this day. Yes, he got paid a lot of money probably, but he still had a lot left in him to play European football. Him not fitting in Everton should not have discouraged him to go to Qatar. I think he still had a lot left in the tank, and it was just an unfortunate situation with Rafa Benitez coming in, a manager that he does not trust. But even the Qatari fans were disappointed by James' play and just his ability to stay on the pitch, because this guy was not able to stay on the pitch. He was always injured, always injured. He was their highest paid player, so if he's not going to play, what is the point of having him? So the relationship ended just 1 year, and James Rodriguez basically blames that he was just not able to adapt to the Qatari culture, and that's why his performances just weren't the best, and he decided to go to Olympiacos. And out of all the stints he had with Sao Paulo and El Rayon, I think Olympiacos was the best stint he had out of all of them. He was actually a good signing, and on his day, he was the best player in the league. But again, we know what the issue is with James, and that's injuries. And again, he had injury issues here. And there was rumors that apparently he didn't turn up to training after one of the games because he was mad at the coach or something like that. That's the issue with James. I think he has an attitude issue at times and also just laziness. I think those are the two things that kind of killed his career. I really do wonder what goes on in these negotiations. I mean, just look at the recent example with Rayon Vallecano. If you know you're not going to play there, why would you go there? That's my thing. His agents should be doing a better job in understanding where James can fit. In a system like Rayon Vallecano, I still don't get what they saw in that system and why they thought James would fit. I know James wants to play in Europe, but if it's not going to work out, it's not going to work out. You got to find a better club that fits you, and a team like Rayon Vallecano just did not fit him. I thought Olympiacos fit him, but he always starts off well in any club, but in the end, slowly, he just doesn't do much. Or he becomes lazy, or he just walks around the pitch. But his contract getting terminated is more on the board of Olympiacos, because they were kind of cheap, and them letting him go was kind of a shock to Olympiacos fans. He wasn't good in the last month before he left, but he still was one of the best players when he was fit. Then he made the move to Sao Paulo, which was a horrible stint for him. It was a horrible stint for him. Brazilian fans till this day hate James Rodriguez. Well, mostly Sao Paulo fans. They hate what James Rodriguez did in that league, and he just wasn't good enough. Apparently in training he was a bit lazy. Again, injury injuries were another issue, but overall just his play was just not good. It was just not good. In 2 years, he only played 22 games and scored 2 goals. And Sao Paulo just decided to terminate his contract. Again, James was on the lookout and he was a free agent again. But now you get to the present day where James Rodriguez just left Rayon Vallecano mid-season after only playing 7 games. And he didn't start in any of them. But Rayon Vallecano tried really hard to get him. And when they got him, he just didn't play. And to me, just going all over the board and coming to a conclusion, I think this is on James Rodriguez. He's played for like 10 to 11 managers, and the fact that he has a problem with most of them shows me something about him and his work ethic. That's what I think, and I think it's really on him. And now Club Leon in Mexico have signed him, so it's going to be interesting what he does there. Hopefully not another contract termination, but I've never seen a higher profile player than James Rodriguez be a journeyman. I've never seen it. James Rodriguez is one of the weirdest cases in football history, in my opinion. A player with so much potential, so much to be desired, and he really just becomes a journeyman. He only turns up for Colombia. I mean, the Copa America that he had, it made European clubs think, wow, maybe this guy can do this for us. But at the end of the day, this guy for club football, he's just not built for it. He's just not built for the extreme training. He's not built for any of it. And you hear cases here and there that he has, issues with the manager and he gets mad when he gets subbed. That was some of the rumors that Olympiacos fans had, that he got mad in one of the games that he got subbed. It's just a sad case, and hopefully we see James in the World Cup just have a good send-off, but after that, I think he needs to be done. It's a career that could have been a lot more, but he still gave us really good moments in Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Everton, obviously Porto, Monaco. But when he made that big move, we all thought he's going to be something huge. We all thought he's going to be a superstar, especially after that first season for Real Madrid. But in the end, things didn't work out and it just didn't come to be. What do you guys think about James Rodriguez's situation? Is it really on him? Is it on the clubs? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and peace out.